Hey guys, so today is a subscriber requested, so shout out to Ali who comments quite a bit actually. Appreciate all of you who do, and when you make requests, I'll let you know. I like to jump in and do what you guys ask. But for this one today, I want to talk about what coins can 50x at this point. Now, this is going to be a little bit more of a rambling lecture, I guess, one, because there are still, I think, 50x opportunities out there. There are far less than what people are going to try to push on you, however. And I want you guys to recognize that. So I've got ideas of a couple that might 50x. I also want to give you guys ideas of how to find some other potential 50x or more possibilities for this bull run on your own. And I do want to emphasize in the bull run, right? So like the next, call it 2 to 6 months. Because if we're talking years down the road, that just greatly opens up the list. But that's not the way I interpreted this question. And anyone who clicked on this, I'm presuming you're looking at, we'll call it by the end of this year. Is that fair enough? So that list gets really small. There's certain criteria that it almost has to have for that to happen at this point. So that's what I want to hit on today. Also, for those of you who asked, I haven't recorded anything in about a week. I've been okay. Everything's been fine. I was actually just on vacation with my wife out in London, had a great time, and I thought I was going to record. It just didn't happen. But there's been a lot going on in the market recently, so expect a little bit more videos than normal for the next couple of weeks. I'll try to keep up. No promises, but I'll try. So with that being said, let's kind of hop into what coins I think could realistically 50x, what characteristics I think they have to have, and show you guys a little bit more of how you might be able to find them so that way you guys can get your own opinion so you don't just copy what I say, think, and believe, give you guys a little thought and a voice for your own. The first thing, this is going to kind of be a duh thing, but if you're looking for a 50x to jump in right now, it's going to get very hard and you're getting borderline too late. What I mean is, this is almost not helpful to you guys right now, but it will be in the next bear market if you believe we'll have another bear market. I do. But anyway, there was a lot more 50x opportunities a year ago, and a lot more than that 2 years ago, right? I understand that's not helpful, but that's going to tie into a point about the market cap size of a crypto, because this is important at this point. That the reason why there's only so many crypto that can 50x at this point is how big they have to be so small to be able to get that much bigger right now. Like I think we can all agree, please let us all agree on this, that Bitcoin is not going to 50x right now in the next couple of months, right? Ethereum is not going to 50x right now in a couple of months. There's a couple of wackos who think that XRP will, but I'll go ahead and tell you XRP is not going to 50x in the next couple of months, right? They're way too large right now for that to happen. So for them too, they got to be smaller. How small? My thought is roughly $25 million market cap or smaller. The reason why I say that is if it's a $25 million market cap and it 50x's, that's going to make it like $1.25 billion market cap. Right? Maybe there's a little wiggle room, maybe larger, maybe a little bit smaller, but it's only going to get so big. And I already know there's going to be a few people, because I've already heard this, about like Doge and Shiba last time. Well, there was a dog coin that got into 80 billion market cap. So this coin that is 1 billion is worth 150. The coins we're having right now aren't those dog coins, right? They were pushed and pressed they were on Saturday Night Live. Elon Musk pushed about them. A lot of people who weren't into crypto, didn't even know what crypto was, jumped in and bought it. That was an outlier and a phenomenon. And we might have another Dogecoin, but also we probably won't. So I don't want people to get stuck on the idea of, well, this one coin could do it. So this coin that's much better fundamentally, has a good technology, has a great team behind it can. Well, Doge had none of that shit. So I mean, why does any of that actually matter? So I do want you guys to realize what does and doesn't matter in getting high multiples for coins. So for the sakes of this, I'm looking at $25 million market caps or less. Another thing you need to be really real about yourself is how convinced do you have to be that something's going to 50x to hold it anywhere close to that long, right? I mean, you're never going to know that something's going to 50x. You're never going to know something's going to 5 or 10x, right? So when I give you a list of things that I think that could get there, none of this is ever financial advice, obviously, but I would recommend no one ever wait that long to get a 50x until start taking profits. That is just an unsafe, statistically based method of doing it. So I do ask Ali and everyone else who's asked for things like 50x coins of would you actually wait until something 50x is to sell it? Or was 50 just a number that came in your head and your real question is what's something that I can somewhat confidently say if I put money in, I'm going to get a good chance of a large return from? And I do interpret the question that way, but I'm going to go a little bit more literal to what was asked. But I do want you to realize that too, of are you really going to hold a coin until it 50x's? Because statistically speaking, you're going to round trip that shit. All right. So I guess that's that little PSA involved in there as well. So for when I'm looking at coins to 50x, what am I looking for other than, okay, smaller market cap, right? Roughly 25 million or less. For the next couple of months, I would also be looking at ones that are only on Coinbase and Binance. And I know I've talked about this kind of stuff before because there's definitely going to be coins on like PumpFun and other degenerative little websites and exchanges. They need VPNs and a bunch of little sketchy shit. And if you guys use them, you know exactly the sources I'm talking about. But you'll see some that do that 50x and what happens? They rug pull, right? I mean, we see that shit all the time. So how many people do you think actually collects a 50x in those situations? Or if you see a meme that comes up on a Solana, the Solana-based meme, you're like, oh my God, that thing went 79x overnight. How many people actually cash that out? Think about it, all right? Very few. So I would look at Coinbase and Binance tokens that are on either or both that are roughly that market cap or smaller, because when everyone jumps in, where are they going to go? Right? You're not going to have Joe Schmo, the barber, or Larry Sue or whatever, the waiter, that's going to come in and get a VPN to go onto some degenerative website. They're going to download Coinbase, right? And you're going to want to get into what everyone else can find and see that they're going to get into. So that being said, I think it was enough rambling. Let me give you a couple ideas of coins that I think could do it, and then I'll briefly show you ideas of how you can find it. Because the method I'll show you is actually how I found a couple of microcaps before. One that I still own, ASM. No, I don't think that's going to 50x. It has a small potential for it, but I think there's other that have better chances. It's how I first found Moonwell when it was just under a penny, and I got a nice little 3.5x trade from that one. It's just using CoinMarketCap and a little bit of time. But let me go over next a couple coins I think can do it, and we'll jump into and I'll show you how I found a couple in the past that had done really well. Just to throw out a couple of names, some crypto I think have the potential to 50x is, I think Foxy is a meme. It's last time I looked was around a $7 million market cap. It's supported by MetaMask. It is supported by the new layer 2 that has, I think, a lot of growing steam on it called Linea. They're all supported by the parent company Consensus that was created by the co-founder of Ethereum, Joe Lubin, also running Linea, a layer 2 on it. They have a Ethereum strategic reserve. So, and Foxy is going to be involved into a lot of that. I think Foxy has a slightly better chance later on to 50x, but I put that in the category of possibility now. On the whole Fox thing, Shapeshift Fox, one I don't talk about too much. I think I talked about once in one of my tiered videos. It's a DEX. That one has the potential to 50x as well, mostly because it's small. And I've got a lot of faith in DEXs and layer 1s because money comes in through. So that one's got a strong possibility. Plus, there's been a couple of large YouTubers who have talked about it. And again, I'll keep stressing the point that crypto is a popularity contest, right? The more people who know about it, talk about it, and buy it, the more it goes up. It really kind of is that simple. I think Beam, BEAM, has a strong potential. So far the list, that's one I'd actually be the most confident with that could 50x. Gaming hasn't really struck in yet, and I think it will. I think it will near the end of the cycle. I think it's going to be one of the last narratives to pop. We'll see AVAX go up, Avalanche, and I think Beam, which has been tied in with Abu Dhabi, it is a system essentially to make a bunch of games for crypto. I think that one has some potential for it. I think Illuvium, back to gaming. That's a Hail Mary pass, guys. I think that one could do it. It hit like $2,800 last cycle before there was even really a product out. And none of this is coming with confidence, by the way, but these are possibilities to me. And when I was looking through my watch list, I didn't see any others I'd be that most confident about to share with you guys. But let's pull up coinmarketcap.com, and I want to show you how you guys can look for coins. Do your own research. Do not just pick a random fucking coin and say, oh, this is low, could 50x. Don't do it. So here, guys, I'm on CoinMarketCap, and what I ended up doing was getting it set. I did a filter, and I put in market caps between 3 million and 25 million. Why 3 million? I just want to try to narrow out some of the super degenerate meme coins that are going to be hiding around everywhere. You don't have to do it that method, but that's what I did. And just looking through these small coins and see if there's any I recognize or any that I think could go somewhere. And you can narrow it down even more, right? I could put it down by memes or do it only on Solana or ones that are only on base. And I can narrow it down a little bit better. But these are all going to be the smaller market cap coins. And right now I have it in the upper teens to 20s. But if I scroll down to the bottom, we can get down more to tinier ones. And here we're now looking at ones like the 6 millions. And again, they are less likely to do anything, but they've got the potential of doing a lot more. So I don't know if any of you guys own or seen any of these. Actually, you might have already passed Foxy because I think that was, it's either in the low sevens or the mid sixes. I haven't checked today. But I would just go through here. You can narrow it down. Oh, look, Catcoin. As dumb as that is, that alone jumps out as something that could do a little bit better because it says cat in it, and people are going to be looking up cat means for sure in the near future. Heard a little bit about Lingo. Again, if you want to narrow this down a little bit more, you can search by things like what chain they're on. Like you can look for everything that is on Base. Again, I'm a huge fan of Base. I like what they're doing. And we can look for market cap coin. Hey, look, there's one called Base. Again, I wouldn't just jump into any of them, but this is a method to find things to do your own research on. And if it's on Base, it's really easy to find. I think it's going to be easier to get to over time as they're upgrading their whole the app and Base Alpha. Oh, okay. I've heard of Lingo, but I didn't realize it was actually on Base. We can scroll back up, check out a couple of the other filters. Again, you can look by exchanges itself. How can we find them? Actually, I've been playing with Coinbase. Let's go to Binance this time, shall we? Let's get off the Base chain. Binance, less than there. So these are ones that are on Binance that are low. Look, broccoli. Anyone interested in investing in some broccoli? It's only $10 million market cap. No idea what that could be. But this is a method I would do to look for coins. Right? And then, yes, you do have to kind of go through it, get an idea of what they are and if you think they have any chance or realistic possibility of moving forward. But you can look by age, volume, all kinds of stuff. But there you have it, guys. There's a couple of coins I think can still 50x. I don't think it is really the smartest method of looking solely for 50x and holding on to it. But do realize there's certain things you can find that increase the odds of a crypto that's going to grow exponentially. It being smaller to start is one. It being on a large exchange is another one. It being tied to something that's really big. Like that's really the only reason I give Foxy as much credit as I do, is that's tied to Linea, MetaMask, the co-founder of Ethereum, right? And so the connections certainly matter. I guess I can throw out there's a possibility of Supra. I don't actually think Supra is going to 50x this cycle. I think it in the next 3 years, I think it could do well over 100x of where it is now. But we're looking at a time frame with the next couple of months. I'm not as confident with that one. But that's another one of early layer ones. Again, I think those are more for the future, however. So what I'm curious about is let me know in the comments below, what coins do you think can actually 50x? Let's see if we make a little bit of a list for everybody, right? And if people start actually putting them down there, I'm expecting a bunch of degenerate crap, but let's go ahead and see what we get. So let me know down below. Let me know if this helped. And sorry if you guys missed me. You'll see me a lot more, whether you want me to or not. All right. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate you all. Peace.